And there we go. We're recording. Look who I have with you, everybody. It's Alysha from Littlejohns Yarns.
Everybody,
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I just can't stand it. I'm so excited. Um,
thank you so much for having me here today. I'm like super excited to be here.
so I think this is the first time we've ever spoken in person. I mean, we've
1-to-1.
interacted on your live streams. I always love to join your live streams when I can, largely because we both like to drink. Um, but you have some amazingly valuable information on all of your live streams.
Thank you.
So, introduce yourself to, if there's anyone in my viewership who doesn't know you. I wonder why, but introduce yourself anyway.
Well, my name's Alysha. I have my own crochet YouTube channel, Littlejohns Yarns. I blog, I write patterns. I do everything I can in the whole crochet field because this is what I love to do. I love to teach people how to make money with their hobby. And I love to just teach how to create and craft. And like I said, you can find me anywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I'm there. Just type in Littlejohns Yarns.
That's a very good and very concise introduction, and it's all completely true. I've learned a tremendous amount about ways to manage my own channel because
Mhm.
I've been doing this for only about a year, and I've it's all been a learning process.
Definitely.
So as anything is really, I
But
mean, I can't.
I wanted to add a little something. Just so you know, it's always weird being on the opposite end of an interview. I'm always so used to like directing questions at other people. I'm like, oh, somebody's going to ask me a question now. What do I say? So I might be like a little tinge bit nervous.
Oh,
Just wanted
that's
to add that
okay.
in.
That's okay. We'll work with it.
Oh, thank you.
I'll make fun of you, I'm sure.
That's
But
fine. I can take it.
but yeah, I've learned a huge amount. And this past Saturday, I mean, we're recording this on what is the
Today's the
8th?
8th,
Yeah,
Monday.
okay. So I have someone scheduled already for this coming Friday, but I'll put you up the following Friday. So yeah, this past Saturday, I learned a lot. You have had some really great people up there um, with you
Hmm.
um, um, in talking about just turning a craft into a
Career.
vocation, a career. I mean, I fell into the trap briefly where I was calling it a job. And it's like almost as if almost as if on schedule, I lost my passion, I lost my motivation
Hmm.
when I called it a job.
It's very easy to do that. Sometimes people always think the grass is greener on the other side. This is my career. Don't I'll never say this is, oh, the worst thing ever. I've had a job. I've had several jobs. And
Oh,
I work harder at this career, but there's a passion behind it. There's a happiness behind what I do, if that makes sense.
exactly, exactly. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have some guidance from friends and advisors, and so I'm thinking of it more as a passion, as a calling, than a job.
Calling, I like that.
A calling, a vocation. Yes, and actually, one in particular keeps reminding me that I have a voice, and
Hmm.
what is my voice? What am I saying with the things that I do? And so I see that in you, even if you don't use the same language, I see that in
Yeah.
you.
I like the way you put that. I didn't realize I was trying to use my voice for something. Like you said, you've been doing this whole YouTube thing for about a year now, but I'm sure you've been crafting way longer than that. And when I started, even though it wasn't that long ago, maybe like 6 years ago, the internet itself was different. I didn't know where to start. There weren't information and classes and YouTube tutorials on how to become what we are. I don't like to call myself an influencer because I don't know who I'm influencing, but I like maybe a teacher. There wasn't anybody to teach me how to say, hey, when you create a pattern, you should sell it here on Etsy, and then you should place it here on Ravelry. And hey, why don't you start a blog? That is a wonderful way of making passive income. Now, being, it's the future, 2021, almost 2022, this
Oh,
information
is
is
that the
out there. You
year it
don't have to
is
start
now?
from scratch. I know. No, I was talking to my husband the other day. I didn't mind saying 2020. I still haven't got used to 2021, but 2022 will kind of roll off my tongue. I feel it'll be an easier transition for me to say it.
It wasn't that long when I was writing checks. Who writes checks anymore? When I would on the date, I would start to put 19 something. I'm a bit older than you are, but that's okay. But yeah, I mean,
I'm only what my grandmother always told me. She stopped aging at 39 plus. So forever, I will be 39 plus.
well, actually, in a few weeks, I will be 39 and some months.
Oh, oh,
240 months exactly, but who's counting?
nobody.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. And there was a British comedy show where someone said, I'm a little bit older than my nose. No, I'm just as old as my nose and a little bit older than my teeth. And then
That's a good
another
one.
character said, I'm a great deal older than my teeth.
I love my BBC comedies. Oh, okay.
Oh my
That's
God. I knew that we had to have some more in common because I adore the BBC comedies. I mean, I used to have all the seasons of Are You Being Served on DVD.
Oh, I don't know that. That must be one I'm going to have to write down.
You don't know Are You Being Served?
No.
Oh, girlfriend. Oh, girlfriend. Oh my God. You have to
Something
go.
I need in my life?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have BritBox?
No.
You can get it through Amazon Prime or you can
Hmm.
get it separately. But that's a great way to get British miniseries, BBC
Hmm.
miniseries. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Pride and Prejudice. I'm probably.
That is, I just watched that actually. I was homesick by myself. I'm like, okay, let me get it all in. I need my sense and sensibility. I need my Pride and Prejudice. I'm like, okay, I want the one with Keira Knightley in this one. Yeah, I feel like her this time. Like, oh, where's my Jane Austen? Mm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I do when I'm working with my hook. Sometimes I don't want video. I want an audiobook, and I'll be listening to Jane Austen
Hmm.
on audiobook through YouTube,
Hmm.
which, it's free. And,
Yeah.
my saying, if it's free, it's for me. Um,
I like that. I might steal it.
yeah. But I have a ton of audiobooks downloaded through Audible.
Hmm.
So what I need to do is drive more so that I can listen to those while I'm driving.
Yeah, now that I work from home, I don't know how many miles I drive a month. Not it probably doesn't even total 100. It's a shame. I think I might be a hermit. I don't know. No, I'm not going to label
Oh,
myself. I just work from home.
I'm not ashamed of the hermit label. I'm fine with it. Yeah,
I
hit
have
me with your
trouble
best
even going
shot.
into the Dollar Tree. Like, oh, I need toilet paper. It's so far, half a mile.
Exactly, exactly. The Walmart is just down the road. But I met my local yarn buddy at the Walmart because I went there to see the
Yeah.
optometrist, for a checkup, and thank God I didn't need new glasses because those things are expensive.
Well,
But
Zeni Optical. All my glasses are $7.95. $7.95. All of them with prescription.
You're kidding me.
I'll send you the link after this.
Oh, yeah, please do. But anyway, so I was sitting there waiting for my eyes to dilate, the pupils, they put the drops in, and I had a crochet project in my hands, and so I started talking with someone and found out she's passionate about crochet too, and now we are local yarn buddies, and it's really, really good to have a local yarn buddy.
I don't have one. I had one that I used to work with, and she moved. I'm from PA. She moved back to Connecticut. And then I have a local yarn friend. You know, you have that friend from high school. You're just kind of phone friends. She crochets. We just more or less talk on the phone. Since we don't like leaving the house, we just haven't managed to have that yarn date yet.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
do need that yarn buddy because talking to people about yarn that don't love it as much as you, I'm sure they don't want to hear it. We
Yeah.
sound nutty.
Sorry?
We sound like nuts.
Oh, I'm accustomed to that. Yeah. Everyone knows that from me. Yeah.
Do you have a yarn stash, crazy yarn area someplace in your house?
Um, well, this is the little room that I craft in, but in my bedroom, I
Mm-hmm.
have those tall, slender dressers that you can get from the discount stores, and then that's completely full of yarn. Then I have another thing. It's like I have a ton of yarn in the other room. Let's just say I have bins and totes and stuff. I wish I had the space. Well, basically, I wish I had my own place, but I wish I had the space to have the kind of really decorative yarn walls that you
Mm-hmm.
see other people
Yeah.
on YouTube have.
Yeah.
Um, Not so much. I don't have that now.
See, I decided to give myself a decorative yarn wall. Like I tell everybody, like, ooh, like, doesn't this look so magnificent in the background? Like I have this gorgeous, huge craft room. This is my living room. People do not come and visit. My living room is now my craft room. That is the fireplace shelf. I just put it all there and took over.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had more. My girlfriend just told me because I'll let you. This part over here just goes straight into the dining room. She's like, just close it off. Put a sheet there or something. So it's completely my
Well,
own.
right there is a French door because
Oh,
I
I
live in
love
like
French
a
doors.
sort of a townhouse with and
Hmm.
this is the middle bedroom where there are French doors because when it was built it could have been either a separate bedroom or like an office or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like an office, so there are French doors. I keep the doors closed because the dog will come in looking for something to eat in the trash can.
Hmm.
Or he's always sniffing underneath my chair. I mean, I know I drop crumbs, but really, um, always sniffing under there. I don't know what's going on there, but he's cute. I would have him more on my channel, but he doesn't like to be held.
Ah. So how's everything going with your channel?
I am approaching 2K
Oh, in a year.
in a year. I mean,
You
I'm
found a niche. You got something. Because 2000 a
well.
year is pretty good.
As we mentioned this on Saturday's live stream when you had I can't remember the name of the
Karen.
other lady. She was lovely. I love her.
Karen.
I want to talk to her, but you know the things that I like to do and I get really good response with, and that I seem to do well, are interviews like this.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, um, I used to be an opera blogger, and I would do a lot of interviews with opera singers and other
Yeah.
people in the opera world, and that was so much fun. And I loved to do it, and I love the writing experience too. And then another thing that I do fairly well or it seems to get good response, is the live streams. And I have at least 2 scheduled live streams per week. So
Do you ever get nervous?
on live streams, maybe at
Yeah.
first. Nowadays, it's like, I won't use those words, but I don't care. You know, whatever will be, will be. Yeah. Oh God, I'm going to go into Doris Day now. But que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. I'll probably get
if you cut it right there, you're good. You get like 3 seconds of tunes before you get one of those demonetized and all that good stuff. So
oh no, we don't want to be demonetized ever. Yeah.
No.
Although
I got sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Who cares? Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Who cares? Being on live. See?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's the fun stuff. It's honestly, I mean, I won't say I have a great personality, but I think that your persona sells your channel.
I still don't know what my persona is. I know because I still become nervous. Before we were on before we were about to get on, I was running around. I set my alarm for 12:50. I'm like, what? I should have set it for 12:45. I'm setting up. I'm like, where is my cable? And that energy. Before I would be nervous for days before my live. Now I know future Alysha always puts it on as soon as the light goes on. But that 10 minutes before, it's pure upset stomach. And then it's, hi. It's nervous energy. I think persona is cheerful, but I'm just so nervous.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I'm always like, how does my hair look? You know, as little bit of hair as I have, and you know, what am I wearing? And is the angle right? And you know, because it's such a mess over there, and I can't show that on camera.
Never show anything past here.
Exactly. But yeah, and I'm like, okay, I was going to do another interview this morning with somebody else, and apparently she forgot it. I don't know what happened. I haven't heard back from her yet, but I'm going. I missed my morning nap for you. You know.
Yeah.
But,
I've done that.
Yeah.
Like,
because napping is very important.
It is. You got to get that beauty rest. It's hard to get in front of this camera. It's funny. I only look presentable since I don't leave the house. I'm like, I had to do a video today, so I like put on a little bit of a face. I'm like, I should go somewhere. Maybe I should buy some toilet paper today. I don't know.
I don't even pretend to look presentable. You know, sometimes I'll, do a little trimming under here. But, yeah. I mean, it's all gray, so nobody believes it's a real beard. And,
See, you're lucky. We're lucky. For me, I don't even want to take my glasses off because I don't like my face without my glasses. I feel like I'm put together at least a little bit if I have my glasses on my face.
I think it's like a major component of my face. And I once told an optometrist that I felt like I was naked without my glasses, and he told me that was a major indicator that you should not get LASIK surgery. If your glasses are a part of your face, then, and I've tried contacts. I wore them for years, and not for me.
I tried it, and putting my finger in my eye is no. These, I feel like, who am I? Like my face, there's too much space between I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. And the first time I ever got contacts, it took me an hour and a half, with the technician trying to teach me how to put them in. It took me an hour and a half to get the first one in. Yeah. I mean, that should have been an indicator right there.
Red flag.
Yeah, exactly. I did learn, but in the end, the glasses are me.
And so I like the shape of your glasses. We're similar in shape.
Well, I always try to choose glasses, choose frames wisely, and these I've always, for the past probably 10 or 15 years, I've been looking for this particular shape of frame
Hmm.
for my face. Um, and
Yeah.
as I said, I'm very fortunate that I didn't have to change up my glasses the last time.
Yeah.
Um, what I really needed was a little bit of adjustment in the tilt, the way it fit,
Hmm.
and that helped immeasurably.
Yeah, but definitely, I'm gonna hook you up with that. Anybody watching Zenny Optical, as long as you have your prescription, like your written prescription, you can. They do it all. Just make sure you have your prescription, load it up to the site, and they send you your glasses. I have so many. I sit on my glasses nonstop. I lose them every time I buy at least 4 pair, and it's always under
Really?
$50.
Well, mine are just so complex because, if I didn't have this high index plastic, they would be like Coke bottle bottoms.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You need the extra. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not like the best glasses. They are $7.95. Hmm.
I do like the way those frames look, though. I think I like them.
Yeah. When you change the color of your frames, you're a whole new different person. Like for a while, I was wearing my old lady cat eye. You remember the ones that just point up at the
The
corner?
cat
Like
eye glasses with like
I
the
was wearing
jewels in
those.
the corner. I love
Yeah, for a
those.
second, I'm like, I'm from 1960. I'm from 1950. I felt different. I dressed different. Then I put on these ones. I feel fun, lively. Then I put on my brown lens. I have ones just like that, and I just feel more calm. They changed my personality.
Librarian glasses, yeah.
Yes.
I suppose mine are librarian glasses, but that's pretty much who I am anyway. But that's okay. So yeah, we were talking about channels and business and
Mhm.
just moving forward. And I've learned a tremendous amount from you. And one of the biggest things is identifying your strengths and just rolling with them.
Yes. You can't. Some people will say, listen, Alysha, I've been trying for the past 2 months. I'm not getting any sales. I've been trying for a year. I'm not doing good. A year is nothing. That's just a drip in a bucket. You have to just keep going and being persistent. I always tell people the whole goal is to be seen, be in as many places as you can. Like I said, we're in the future. It's easy to be in as many places as possible. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
what's scary is learning that social media. Probably like you learned with starting YouTube. You probably went through YouTube University learning how to run your channel. Is that right?
I didn't even do that.
So do
I
you have
just started posting videos, and some of them took and some of them didn't.
okay, we need to talk some more. How's your SEO? Have you been working on your SEO?
Not as much as I should.
Think you have an amazing channel. You have managed to grow 2,000 followers in 1 year without SEO. If you're able to incorporate more of that, imagine how many more followers you gain. Each year, it likes, I don't know what's the big word, it gets bigger. So last year you owned 2,000, next year you own 4,000, and it's a
I mean,
tumbleweed.
I see people like we all know Crystal Bagaday. She
Yeah,
has
she
more
does.
viewers than Las Vegas has residents,
She does.
and
She's OG from YouTube. She don't need any type of SEO. Her
I,
standing
I,
is huge.
but she told me she herself has a YouTube coach.
Hmm.
Still, at this point, and so there's always something to learn, and the unfortunate thing is learning sometimes costs money.
No, 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 no. If you're able to gather all that information, where the money comes into play is for the people who don't want to gather the information themselves. It's for the people who just want it all in front of them, so it's an easy path to follow. Myself, I gathered every single piece of information. Well, later I did when I wanted to grow my business, but before I got my first 100,000 followers, free. I use free apps to record. I still don't pay for StreamYard because I'm like, I don't want to. It's, I love
Well,
free.
frankly, the only reason I pay for StreamYard is so that I can record interviews like this.
See, can you go
And
on Zoom
since
too?
a major part of my channel content is interviews like this,
It was makes you money.
it's worth the investment. I mean, I'm not saying I'm making money yet. I a little bit, but still, I'm
You're
I
getting
think
there.
I'm probably getting more in terms of Google AdSense and that sort of nonsense that I'm paying for StreamYard. So I guess it pays for itself. But at the same time, it's worth the investment for me to do that because that's that's what I like to do.
Yes.
That's what gets response. That's that is turning into my niche.
Yeah, there are things that I do pay for that's outside of like YouTube. I do pay for things like I highly believe if you want to get seen everywhere, I Pinterest market. Pinterest was a wonderful way for me to receive traffic to my blog. Pinterest probably gives me 40% of my traffic to my blog. So I use this thing called Tailwind. Tailwind helps me schedule all of my pins because to get traction on Pinterest is insane. You need to post like 6 times a day, every single day. That's insane. But Tailwind does this for me.
That is, how can you manage that?
You can do free. You can pre-schedule if you have a business Pinterest account. You can use their Pinterest scheduler and schedule in advance, but that could be tedious. That's why I use Tailwind, or I
Mhm.
just go in and I can fill out my Tailwind schedule for 2 weeks in like 15 minutes and be done.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pinterest marketing is important.
I I don't use Pinterest as much as I might.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't use it very much at all because it's pretty much a mystery to me. I use YouTube, I use Instagram, I use Facebook as both
You're a
a
master of
business
Instagram.
page and a well, I try to do Instagram at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm trying to incorporate more hashtags into Instagram. And I know there are separate apps that you can get to
Yeah.
maximize your hashtags too.
Sure.
But what else? I have Facebook. I have a business page and a group. Um, I'm trying to build community in the group. Um,
That's what's hard of being a solo entrepreneur. There's so much you have to do. Your technical support, your everything. It's tough. People are like, what are you doing all day? Crocheting, talking about yarn. It must be nice to be you. I mean, it is nice to be me, but I am working. I'm not playing. Look at all the things you
exactly.
just mentioned.
And, I could make more money working at the 7-Eleven. But I
We
can't
gotta talk some
stand.
more.
I
I'm gonna
cannot
get you way
stand
more
all.
money than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm old, and there are reasons that I'm not working retail or anything else. So, this is what I do because it's my passion, and
Hmm.
you know, I keep talking because my friend keeps encouraging me to talk about my voice,
Yes.
and it's and I learn so much from other people, and that's the fascinating part.
What have you learned
Um,
about yourself throughout this? Like you said, your voice. Now that you're actually a person that's putting their voice out there, 2,000 people are lit, plus all your Instagram followers. What have you learned?
what have I learned? Well, one thing, of course, as we've been talking about, I've learned some of my strengths. I've learned I've learned, a year ago, I would not have been publishing patterns. Now I've got over 25 patterns on Ravelry, and I want to have a whole bunch more by the end of the year. You know, I've learned, the things that I might not have imagined that I could do before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also learning things uh, where it might be more useful to focus than other things.
Mm-hmm.
The sort of thing we've been talking about all along. Um, sometimes you have to pay attention to the things that are not the most useful because they're necessary anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if I focus more on where my passion is, I love these interviews.
Yeah.
And apparently that comes across because I get the response.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't even call them interviews anymore. They're really more conversations. Um, and there are things that I've tried. I've tried like those. I've tried tutorials. I can do them. I get compliments when I do. I don't like doing them.
Don't do
I
it.
don't think I do them well. So even though I get compliments, maybe not so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing for a while I was trying to do like shorts, the 60-second videos.
Yeah. I can't do it.
Um, yeah. I did some, but boy, was it hard to edit something down to 60 seconds.
Yeah. I'm not
Um,
quick and snappy enough with those.
well, I can be pretty snappy, but it's about and it's true what we're both saying is about learning your strengths and just running with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I mean there is that even in the corporate world, there is that sentiment where you learn what you can do, you learn where you're going to get the support and where you're going to get the backup and where you're going to get the positive feedback, and you go with it. And in theory, that's going to work for you. Now, if I found that my passion was being an axe murderer, that probably would not work for me in the
No.
end. You know,
You see me.
um, fortunately, that's not where my passion is.
You see me hiding off the screen. Yeah. But you're right. A
So,
lot of things change in you. Like you, when I first started this whole crochet thing, I felt like I found a place in the world, if that makes sense. Somebody's meant to be a doctor, a lawyer, or this, and then 40 years old. What am I supposed to do? What am I going to do with my life? And I finally have a place in the world. Somebody. I don't want to say I'm recognized, but holy heck, how did this happen? How did I grow a following? How did I become recognized? I feel like I achieved something. Feels good. That makes sense.
it does completely, and you have a following. You are recognized in the world, and when I was 20 years old, I thought that my calling was to be an opera singer, and then when I
Mhm.
was 40, I thought that my calling, or my passion, actually, I don't know if it was. Yeah, I guess you could call it was a calling. Was writing about opera because it combined two skills and passions and areas of knowledge. And now I still write a little bit about opera, but I'm in North Carolina. There's not that much opera here.
Yeah.
Um,
You ever think about
um,
writing, starting something new with crochet?
I have a crochet blog,
Okay.
and I need to work on it more. I also have my opera blog is still alive, and I also have a general topics blog. All of those
You
can be
are a
seen from
blogger.
my Linktree page, the
Okay.
Linktree, and well, actually, all of them can be seen from my About page. But anyway, yeah, it is. It's what I want to do next. And you know, if I were envisioning retirement, I would be like on a deck facing the beach
Mm-hmm.
with a really nice cocktail and a really nice pool boy and a crochet hook and a bunch of yarn. You
And just
know,
happy.
you
See,
know,
mine would be, it was still on like a little deck, but mine is facing like a beautiful pond in like a country, open country wooded area. You know what I mean? Something beautiful like that. Maybe a butterfly going past with my crochet hook. That's my dream.
exactly.
Similar, just
I
different
mean,
location.
it's similar. Yeah, I used to when I spent 27 years in the New York tri-state area. I used to go up to upstate New York every year for a particular music festival, and it's so beautiful there. I just can't describe it. So I could, if it weren't for the snow in the winter, I could retire there if I had the scenery and the pool boy and the yarn. Um, I don't need a pool, just the pool boy.
I don't even have my glass of wine yet. It's almost two. It's almost
It's
okay
5 o'clock
hour.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, counts.
But yeah, it's and still part of that vision is continuing to create even in retirement, um, because I don't I don't want to imagine life when you can no longer create or think creatively or think
Hmm.
in terms of beauty. And I've spoken at length about a spiritual connection to the concept of beauty.
Hmm.
Not everybody gets it, and that's okay. But
I understand it.
I have a long history with church music. I love visual arts. I love all of that stuff. I can and of course, the written word. I do poetry readings every Sunday on my channel.
Oh wow! I need to start tuning in.
You
I be napping
must.
sometimes.
Um, but the creativity and the beauty. Um, I think that's where life continues. And if you
Hmm.
lose sight of that, is very sad. And I know it happens for people. And
Sometimes it just happens naturally in the flow of life that you can ease in and out of it. Because I think I felt that way even in my crochet or just life. Just
exactly,
you forget about the beauty that's around you, and you're like, this is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Look what I can create. Look at the blue sky. Look at the
exactly.
snow, the
It
fresh air.
it all ebbs and flows. Yeah.
That's the word I was
I
looking
mean,
for.
I'm sitting here and I in this little room where I have there's like a bay window and we're like in this townhouse community and we're in an end unit, so I get to see like this little area of HOA governed yard
Hmm.
between us. And people will come by, they'll walk their dogs, and you know me and dogs. And sometimes that's all I need to see.
Yeah. Like
And
for me,
then, just recently, 2 months ago, I think we adopted this senior Cocker Spaniel. Oh, he's so gorgeous.
what's his name?
Well, for his first 11 years, he was called Jax by somebody. I don't like that name. I call him Pupper.
Pupper. That's cute.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He
I'm on
doesn't
my
need a name. I mean, he
microphone.
knows me. I know you have dogs, right?
Nope, no pets. My son is terrified. He's just no, none at all.
Okay. Sometimes I
Oh,
confuse other people that I talk with and,
oh,
what they
but
have in
how
their
you said about
homes.
the outside? I see
Mm-hmm.
my wall. Let's see if I can turn the camera. I put fake greenery all over my house to bring the outside
Oh,
indoors.
oh.
Yeah, it's my living room. I don't care. Nobody's coming in
The
here. Nobody's seen it but me.
the only way it would stay green with me is if it were fake.
It is
Because,
fake. Oh, that's fake.
yeah,
I got those
because
little hedge mats that you buy. I just staple gunned them to the wall, then went to the thrift stores and bought some old ferns for 25 cents.
I've bought
Oh,
pots of
I've seen her.
herbs that you can keep in the house, and then you try to grow herbs so that you can cook with them. I
How'd
kill them
that work
all,
out?
not so
Dead?
well.
Serial
All
killer.
of
I knew
them.
it.
Yeah, that's
Murderer.
me. That's me. I love me some cereal though, but and I love fresh herbs. I just can't grow them.
Mm,
And plants, I'm not really good with them.
I love plants. The big leafy plants I can keep alive. I have a lot of house plants in the house. I just love greenery. I don't know. I can't color coordinate. I just never could. You see me in black, you'll see me in burgundy, just plain colors. And when I went to decorate my house, paint my house, I'm like gray. And I just started collecting plants. I'm like, I think my color is green. I'll just decorate it with green.
I think uh, more than once you've talked about a color wheel where you can
Yeah.
coordinate colors with your yarns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have a
I've
color scope that does that. It helps. But I usually use my husband or daughter to help me color coordinate or put colors together. I am really just, my mom used to get mad at me as a child. Back in the 80s, it was easy to put stripes and polka dots and neons together wrong. I didn't know what I was doing.
people are still doing that. It's okay. It works for me. But mm, I sort of grow frustrated. It seems like everybody in my family likes, very, very neutral things, which I think is very, very sad. I
I'm
like
sad.
vibrant colors. I love vibrant colors. I love really, really colorful yarns.
Oh, I
Um,
love vibrant colors. I just can't put them together. I
oh,
need to call you.
hold on a sec. Oof. This is one of my current whips.
Ooh, I like that.
This is a pink
Is it
variegated
soft?
yarn. It's the yarn itself is a jelly beans, which comes from. Hold on a second. Plymouth Yarn. PlymouthYarn.com, which only supplies stores. You can't do a private retail order through them.
Mm.
But I saw that stuff. I was at a yarn festival in September, and apparently some local yarn shop or regional yarn shop had some there, and I got 3 skeins of it for $4 each.
Okay.
I thought, yep, 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 yep. So now
I,
I'm making a shawl, sort of a scarf slash shawl for a friend of mine who is passionate about pink.
hmm Somebody always has a friend that just absolutely loves pink. I think it's a
I'm okay
requirement
with
in life.
pink. Yeah, I mean, she has pink appliances, and
He's obsessed.
yeah, yeah. Um, and that's okay. It's her.
We cannot talk about anybody's obsession. Look at us.
I know. I know. I mean, if you only saw how much yarn
You
I
have
have
no
around
right.
me. Yeah. So, do you have favorites in terms of yarns and hooks and things?
Oh, I love Susan Bates hooks. Do I have one float? I got a big giant one floating back here. Susan Bates hooks, my absolute favorite hook in the whole entire world because it has the inline hook. I just don't like
Mm-hmm.
boy crochet hooks. The boy ones are just round and bulbous, and I I can't grab onto the yarn like I can with this like wonderful fishing hook of a crochet hook. So that's my absolute no other one. Clover's nice. That's like a second. People always talk about the furls. I don't like the furls. I can't work with those crochet hooks that has that slow bulbous handle. You know what I'm talking about? That slope for the
Mm-hmm.
ergonomic handle. That slope, I think my yarn slides up and it changes the gauge of my crochet.
Oh, there you go. Are
Because
you a
I'm
knife holder or a pencil holder then?
knife,
Okay.
yeah, knife holder.
Yeah. I
So it slides up. Like it
my
goes,
I have two furl hooks. They were both gifts. I like to use them, but not enough to go out and buy more at that premium
yeah.
price. Um, I have honestly. I'll show you my favorites. This is these plastic ones with the clear acrylic
Right.
hook, and they light up. Okay, this one the battery works. Some of them I hardly ever use the light up part, but it just feels so good in my hand.
See, if I'm gonna, can you bring your hook back again?
That one?
Yeah. Like if I'm gonna use an ergonomic hook, let me see the shaft of it. See, it has to have an abrupt stop like that, so the yarn won't slide into the shaft.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Because with the
yeah.
furls, it just slopes in there smoothly.
Well, with this, the apparently the
Right
thumb
there.
and forefinger are supposed to be right there on that black grip. Now, I
Mm,
have seen these. This particular brand name is Crochet Light,
crochet
but
light.
I've seen it with other brand names printed in this very same space, and it's the very same hook.
Yeah. They
Um,
just put their name on it.
yeah, exactly. Now, I have two clovers. This is a
Hmm.
K. I also have an L. I like to use them because they also have a similar, like it's a
Yeah.
thicker
And it
thing,
has to
and
stop.
the abrupt stop. Yeah, I'm not sure that's been an issue for me before. What I don't like is just your basic standard aluminum thing. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, it works. It's okay,
See, if you
but
watch any of my tutorials, you'll see me use all plastic. Well, this is a huge one, plastic Susan Bates. I
hmm
lose. It never matters. As soon as I go to make a pattern, all my 5 hooks are gone. All my 5.5 hooks are gone. So I'm constantly buying just plastic hooks just so I can have my 3 favorite hooks over and over again. And they're just usually stuck in my hair or in a cushion on
yeah,
the couch someplace.
yeah, exactly. I mentioned I have two furl hooks. One of them is somewhere in this house. It's buried in a project bag. I don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Someplace.
yeah, someplace.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
do have one of those decorative. It's real beautiful. I forgot where I get it. It was on Etsy somewhere overseas. But it one of those original fancy furls that had. It's not a furls though. It's woodens, carving, has a cute little
hmm
bulbous bottom. I can't crochet with that either. Just it's. I use it for pictures. It was just too nice, and I can't do
yeah. I have a nice hook like that with a wooden handle.
it. Mm-hmm.
Your basic aluminum shaft,
No,
but
all wooden.
a nice wooden bottom. And I got it because one of my friends, whose name escapes me right now, I interviewed him, um, but he was doing them to sew. So I bought
Mm-hmm.
one, and it was nice. I like to use it. I don't know where it is.
They just vanish. And
I know, but
my daughter's
they're
like,
somewhere in
"Where's
the
all your
house.
crochet hooks? Why do you need more?" I'm like, "I if I get my little craft bag, you'll see 1,000 hooks, just not the one I need." And why do I have like a 1 millimeter crochet hook? Why do I own that? Where did it come from?
I have some very small hooks, but I never use, you know, well, honestly, my taste in yarn weights has sort of slimmed down. I used to be a worsted
Ooh,
boy, now I'm a DK boy more.
you're getting
And
skinny.
so I I wish I were getting that skinny. But no, the only time I was ever skinny was after like an extended period of illness, and I'm going 32-inch jeans, yay! No
I'm
longer.
dying.
Yeah, no longer. But anyway, so I've got some of those lightweight things, thinking that I might use them sometime. I
Hmm.
haven't yet.
No, I've maybe used crochet. I got for somehow. I don't know why I have crochet thread in my house. Maybe from Goodwill or something. I maybe made one thing with crochet thread once. Never this one.
This is my biggest hook. This is
I
25
got.
millimeters. My friend My friend gave me this set. I think it's a 15, a 20, and a 25.
Ooh.
I think his intention was a little bit vulgar because that's the friends that I have. I have used those hooks
What
with
did you
like
make?
really very bulky yarn. I was making something with a very bulky yarn. So it was appropriate, the 15 or the 20. But I've got tens. Let's see, this is a 10
Uh-huh.
millimeter. This came from Hobby Lobby. I can't remember the brand name from Hobby Lobby, but it's,
I remember.
again, it has the little bit of a thickened
That's the one
handle.
that Crochet Nurse recommends.
Crochet Nurse.
Yeah, she's a YouTuber. When you should
I
have a
don't believe
crochet
I
hook,
know her.
your crochet hook should always extend past your hand. If your hook is in your hand like this,
Uh-huh.
that's the wrong crochet hook. Like if you put that one in your hand, it extends past, which is good for you, no matter how you hold it. I can't get used to being on this side of the camera. I'm usually on your side. It's weird. I'm on the wrong side.
Well, you're lovely on whatever side you're on.
Oh, you made me kick my feet under the table.
I'm not used to that response from women, but that's okay. Um,
Okay, don't be serious.
We're going to act like grown-ups now. It's a stretch, I agree.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. What about yarns? What are your favorite
yarns. My
yarns?
favorite yarns. Originally, I always said my favorite yarns were my blonde girls. I love the Deborah Norval and Vanna, but now it's shifting. I still love my Vanna. Deborah can stand to the side, but do I have it? Ooh, oh, this is replacing it. Mighty Stitch bulky yarn. This it says bulky, but this is more of a worsted weight yarn. It got the sheen of
It
Caron Simply
looks
Soft.
exactly. I
Okay,
was going to say that, and
it got
and
the
the weight
but
does look like a worsted weight rather than a bulky.
yeah, and it's because Caron is really it breaks apart. It's twisty. It's just untwines and it's thin. It doesn't have this is plush and soft, and all the colors are so vibrant. I don't know how to explain it, but when you're crocheting, it's like you're crocheting with butter. It's like slip, slip, slip. It's just perfect. So
Now,
Mighty
who
Stitch
makes
Bulky.
that yarn? Who makes that
This
yarn?
you can go through crochet.com. This is through We Crochet. They're the sister company of Knit Picks. Okay, you can find this on Knit Picks. Knit Picks or
Okay.
crochet.com.
Well, that
It's
brings
like
us into another
2.99.
question. What's your favorite sourcing? Where do you go for yarn?
Crochet.com.
Really?
Crochet.com, that is the sister company of Knit Picks, where they have more like affordable yarns. So I'm also, disclaimer, I'm sponsored through them also. And that's where I get all their yarns. It's cheap and affordable. If you shop through Knit Picks, We Crochet's even cheaper, like $2.99 yarn, $3.99 yarn, this stuff. Just so you know, guys,
Mm.
there is no link below. So I'm not sponsoring nothing right now. But this yarn. Most of some of the stuff back there is we crochet too.
Well, send me those links and I'll put them in the description.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I like good yarn sources, and although I keep saying I need more yarn, like I need a hole in the head.
I stopped buying yarn. I've been a lot better. I mean, I do get yarn just for patterns, but I no longer just browse and say, this is a pretty yarn. I'll buy 15 just in case I make a full size blanket. I don't do that anymore.
Well, I learned um, to never buy to never say, oh, that's pretty. I'll buy one. Because what can you
No,
do with one,
nothing.
especially as a crocheter?
But this is
But
how it starts. You'll say, okay, I'll get two. But what if I want more than a hat? I'll get three. But what if I want to make a bag? I'll get four. What if it's a bag? And it just, what's your number you always use? Mine is four.
I think four is very safe. I've
Yeah.
what I've been using recently is okay. Here's the label. It's ice yarn.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
That's
and
another great place. I'm not sponsored with them, but they have so many amazing colors. They're like a slept on company. Not a lot of people use them. I don't know
and
why.
this is what it looks like. It's on my spindle, and it's about
Let me see a
three
strand.
quarters gone now. What?
Oh, I just want to see a strand. That's pretty.
It's about it's about a DK weight. I'm making actually I just now finished a shawl with
Yep.
it.
Oh, yes, that's nice.
So I was talking about my shawls, and particularly my diagonal shawls. I probably need to rework this particular pattern, but still,
Why? What's wrong with it?
uh, it's
What
not
stitch is that?
exactly even. What?
What stitch is
Oh,
that? That's beautiful.
this is oh, I can't even remember the name of it.
You don't have to show the
I
name. Just show
have
it again. Maybe I can look at. I
I
see a fan.
have
They're like sideways. What are they?
it's it's like three double crochets and then three puff stitch with chains between them. So I think it's called Roman clusters. I
Oh,
have a
okay.
wonderful stitch reference book which was sent to me by. If you do not know Fiverr Floozy, please look her up. But this stitch reference book was sent to me, um, and so several times I have been just leafing through this thing, and I find these stitches, and I go, "Oh wow, what could I do with that?" And then
Yeah.
it comes to me something like that, and so that's a pattern.
Yeah. Simple as that.
And yeah, um, and that's how these things happen. And I used to think, oh no, I couldn't do a pattern. I don't know what I'm doing.
You got it.
But
Got a
exactly. But
picture.
okay, now we all have yarns that we don't really want to use any longer. Without naming any brands,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that we both know of. Well, what I call them is yarns that give acrylic a bad name.
Okay. I can describe them and you will know it exactly. This is not the whole brand of yarn, but it's the yarn that a lot of people grew up on. It's in particular the red yarn of this name of similar name that I can't stand. It was
I
always so
probably
thick.
know the one you mean.
Ah,
It's like it hurts your hands to work with it.
yeah, I never cared for that. So that brand. Another one, it is without the name. You can buy them in huge pound forms at your local stores if you're in the United States. Their strand is very thick. I love their variegated yarns. It seems a little bit smoother, but their basic color yarns, I just don't like their thick strand. Mm-mm.
Actually, even the first one you mentioned, my experience is that their variegated or their ombre yarns are better than their solid color yarns.
Yes. I
But
love that brand's their variegated yarns. They're just beautiful and they're nice to work with. I love working with the Addy machine. I'll put on that cheaper version of that yarn we were talking about like a boot, like I'm from Canada.
oh y'all, no dear, don't you know?
And I love the way like the pattern works up.
Yeah, I have some. I'm looking at it right now over there. Can't you see it? It's right over there.
Other
But,
way.
but it's basically a store brand from a major online distributor, and sometimes you get like these bags, these volume bags. I don't do volume bags anymore because I can't predict what I'm going to get unless I can predict what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Like recently, I did buy when Lion Brand had those mystery boxes for $20.
Yeah.
Because I had seen other people unboxing them, and I liked everything I saw, and I had experience with all of the yarns. And so I did not mind a bit what I got in that. But some of the other ones, that when you buy a mystery bag or a mill-ins or whatever,
I've never got one.
It's hard to tell what you're gonna get. But then this one, I've got 2 skeins of it left. I don't know what maybe I'll use it for a giveaway. That's what I do. I mean, when you have a channel and you do giveaways, you just give away yarn you don't want to use.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been trying to give away yarn where now I'm no longer I'm still a hoarder. I'm a light yarn hoarder. I'm not as heavy as I was. I rescanned some stuff and started giving things away. I'm like, I probably have enough yarn to crochet for at least 300 years.
Yeah.
At least.
So you're a hoarder in recovery then.
Yes, I'm trying.
The first step is admitting that we have a problem.
I have one.
But yeah, exactly. So I don't know. And recently one of the major manufacturers has come out with a packaging gimmick. And you probably know which one I mean.
Oh, that horrible stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
think I have it without the label on it. Hold on. Ugh.
I mean, the yarn itself is okay, but the packaging is just so overpriced. Yes. Exactly.
I like the idea how you can it doesn't tangle, but you can't store it. What do you, I don't know.
No, exactly. Although I will say, I did recently make this scarf from one of those entire donuts.
That's nice. But I'm glad you used all of it, because if you have to store it, then what?
Exactly. Okay, turn it around so you can see the cables there.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
I love cables. And so and I made a differentiation with the colors at both ends, where I was doing like the back loop single crochet. And then the 3 colors in the middle were like all of this cable pattern. So, someone might like it.
You're a busy hooker.
Yeah, well, that's the only way I'm hooking lately. So, actually, yeah, it's a little short for a scarf, but you know what? I don't care.
It'll work.
It'll work for somebody. I could like turn it into a very large cowl, maybe. I don't know. So now you have patterns. Now on Saturday, you were saying that you started out and everybody in the world loved your hats, and then suddenly, not so much. And then they were all after your slippers.
Yes, that was a strange transition. Like with any platform, usually once you find what works, you just kind of keep beating it to get more views over and over again. until
Mm-hmm.
maybe they'll want something else next time. I might be switching over. I hope it's never. I'll never do sweaters. Just the idea of
I just
sizing.
completed a sweater that I need to publish.
Well, bless your heart. And
Yeah.
then after you're done finishing, you got to weave in the ends. Then you got to figure out how to all that work. And if you can't take the perfect photograph, it's not even worth it. If you cannot make it look pretty enough for somebody to say, "I'm going to make that," all your work is for nothing.
Yeah. Photography is definitely one of my weakest points.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, Karen had a link to a photography video, and I have to go and look at that and get some tips. In fact, I just recently put out an ad on Facebook Marketplace saying I need photographers because I'm
Yeah,
incompetent.
it's hard.
Yeah, I also need models because I have a mannequin that works okay,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're doing a man's sweater, the shoulders are narrow and it's got boobs.
Yeah, doesn't work the same.
Yeah, and I myself, I'm not a good model. Um, Although when I wear my own sweaters in public, I
Mm-hmm.
get good response.
Yeah,
But
I only got like a couple sweaters I still own that I have. I think I have three. Two I wear. One, I should have made it out of a different yarn. It just ended up too stretchy,
mm.
too heavy. And
Yeah,
two,
this
the stitch was too loose. Not loose, but spacey, lacy.
this is the one that I just completed. It's all moss stitch.
Oh, I like the moss stitch. That took a while. I
It
like it
did.
though.
Let me tell you that. But I need to sew on the buttons, and I need to sew in the loose ends. Loose
How long
ends.
have you had to sew on the buttons? When did you complete it?
Honestly, I have. This is. I've done this in fits and spurts. So
Okay. I'm
I
like, if you're like me, I go 98%. That last 2% will sit there for at least 3 months.
I've done that. I've done that. I did just buy the buttons last week to sew on. And I finished it. It was probably last week, maybe the week before, because I had done all of the panels already. I thought they weren't working, but when I sewed it together, it did work okay. And then I added this like single crochet placket,
Mm-hmm.
and then with the buttonholes and the spacing for the buttons. And I love my cheap plastic stitch markers. I don't
Fancy.
care for those, decorative ones. I don't need them. I
Do they
like the
have little
cheap.
hooks on them?
Well, yeah,
I don't like
they're
plain.
functional, but yeah. So I just need to sew them on. I'm honestly, I'm going to a men's fiber retreat later this week. I'm going to wear this. I have another one that I completed a month or two ago that is completely different, and I wore that to another one. Um, and that's why I say when I wear stuff that I make, I get a good response because I usually make it to my own size, and I say,
Yeah.
measure the person or measure the person that you're going to crochet for, or something that fits him.
I always tell people, they're like, why don't you use a different model? I'm like, all I got is me. I mean, I always size mine according to the craft yard uh, council. I make sure there's more. Everybody gets mad at my thumbnails, but the only person I have to model is me. I can't get anybody smaller, and I can't get anybody bigger. I got me.
Yeah, yeah, and it's that's an old musical theater song too. Um, but yeah, it's I have modeled things for photos before, but I never like the photos. Um,
You're too picky on yourself. All you got to do is just take the picture.
I know, and I probably will once I finish this. And I put it on the mannequin, and it just doesn't look right.
Because the mannequin has boobs.
And shoulders that are much narrower than mine, and
Yes.
waist that is certainly a lot narrower than mine. But yeah, it's fun stuff. Oh my goodness gracious, we have been doing this for over an hour. Would you believe
Yeah,
it?
I know.
Oh
Time
my
flies.
goodness gracious. We should probably close pretty soon, but if we do, what
That's
would you
fine.
like to leave our viewers with?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on your channel. You've become one of my, whenever I see you pop up on a live stream, you become one of my favorite people. I know some people like, oh, she don't, David, for your, I don't know how did you get stuck in my head like this?
I
You
know.
like,
I probably just when I came up in your live streams.
you're just hilarious. And then just looking at your comments, and somehow when I'm scrolling, if I see a DA, I'm like, oh, it's David. I always have to say hi to you. Out of everybody I see, you would have to say hi to. You're my favorite. And like I said, thank you so much for having me on
Oh,
your channel
you're
today.
so sweet.
And I'm like, of course
Yes.
I'll be on your show. Of course.
Of course. Oh, you're so very kind to come on and agree to do this. And um, give us the name of your channel again, which
Okay,
is
you can find me on YouTube, Little John's with an S, Little John's Yarn. Or you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere, Little John's Yarn. So make sure you check it out. And if you want, I'll give you the link so you can leave the link down in your description if you want to check my channel out. I'd
yeah.
appreciate
Please
it.
send me every single link that you want me to include. Also, if you want me to include any photos, that would be good as well.
Oh, I don't really have
Um,
a photo. Well, oh yeah, for your thumbnail. Yes, I probably have one for that. I probably have something from like 5 years ago when I was super good looking. So we'll use someone of those.
but you're beautiful now.
Ah,
But
thank you. Some magic
uh,
glasses.
that could be it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I want to thank you so much, and of course to everybody who's been watching us all this time. I always close by saying, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. You know.
All right.
Thank you so much. I'm going to click end, but stick around.